Good afternoon. An announcement for ASL viewers. Due to the importance of showing unobstructed videos, we ask that our ASL viewers use the WebEx link provided in the description of the live stream. For viewers who would like this town hall meeting translated, please click on the WebEx link in the live stream description and click the icon in the bottom left corner to select your preferred language.
Good afternoon. We're here today for a virtual town hall regarding an officer-involved shooting that occurred on Sunday, July 21st, 2024 at Willow Street and Van Ness Avenue. Before proceeding, I'd like to announce to our viewing and listening audience that this town hall is being translated into Spanish, Cantonese, and American Sign Language, or ASL, for members of our community who speak those languages. Without suggesting a premature judgment on the appropriateness of the force used in this incident, today's presentation will include details from an officer-involved shooting incident that ended tragically, claiming the life of 28-year-old Alexander Antonio Lopez. I'd like to express my deepest condolences to Lopez's surviving family members. In the San Francisco Police Department, we recognize that our sworn duty as law enforcement officers imposes no more solemn obligation on us than to honor and respect the sanctity of human life. We also know that as police officers, we are sometimes required to use force, including deadly force, at times in the performance of our duties. We recognize, too, that officer-involved shootings can have traumatic effects on members of our communities, especially for individuals, their families, and loved ones who have suffered traumas of their own in encounters with the criminal justice system, wherever it may be. To any of our viewers experiencing trauma from this incident, or from the information or images that we will present during this town hall, please know that help is available to you. You may contact the San Francisco Department of Public Health's crisis line at 415-970-3800 for trauma services. Here is what we hope to accomplish today. First and foremost, it is the San Francisco Police Department's aspiration to be a national model of 21st century policing. We work to earn the trust of those we serve by committing to transparency and to the tenets of procedural justice in this process and in this town hall presentation. Procedural justice depends on the legitimacy of police as well as our entire criminal justice system. With these town halls, we work to embody the foundational tenets of what procedural justice is all about. We will release the facts known to us at this time about this incident. We will try to do so in a manner that is impartial and neutral. We will answer questions from members of the public as well as members of the news media, and we will listen to public feedback. Acting Commander Mark M. will be presenting the facts of this case in a few minutes. Before turning the floor over to him, however, I want to emphasize that this incident is subject to multiple independent and ongoing investigations. As such, there may be some information we cannot release at this time, either because the release of certain information is prohibited by law or because the release of certain information could compromise an ongoing investigation, or because certain facts have not yet been established with certainty. In other words, we are not able to release unconfirmed information. Next, Acting Commander Mark M.'s presentation will include a detailed verbal narrative of the facts as we know them, as well as audio and video content from the officer-involved shooting incident. SFPD officers who responded to the scene were wearing department-issued body-worn cameras, which were activated while they were on their way to the incident. Consistent with our body-worn camera policy, Department General Order 10.11, you will see body-worn camera, or BWC video, from those officers from multiple perspectives. At the San Francisco Police Department, our commitment to full transparency has guided our officer-involved shooting investigations in town halls for several years now. Although our practices predate the enactment of many police transparency and accountability laws in California, we believe our approach has remained consistent with the letter and spirit of reforms implemented by Senate Bill 1421 for police transparency and Assembly Bill 1506 for police accountability. SFPD's commitment to transparency in this process will also be reflected in our release of information online. Video from this town hall, including audio recordings from 911 calls and dispatchers, and the video footage I just mentioned, will be posted on SFPD's website at sanfranciscopolice.org. It will remain available there for public viewing. As a reminder, all of SFPD's governing policies and procedures can also be found on our website. San Francisco Police Department directives mandate that we release the names of officers from officer-involved shootings unless safety concerns argue against disclosure. In this matter, we have identified no safety concerns, and Acting Commander Mark M. will release the names of the officer as part of his presentation. Now I would like to explain the investigative process for officer-involved shootings next. San Francisco has a multi-agency response to officer-involved shootings, and each agency's investigation is independent. Whenever an officer-involved shooting occurs in San Francisco involving an on-duty San Francisco police officer, the following agencies are immediately notified. The SFPD's Investigative Services Detail, or ISD, is a unit responsible for investigating the events that led up to the officer-involved shooting. The SFPD's Internal Affairs Division, or IAD, is responsible for conducting an administrative investigation to determine if the officer or officers responsible for the OIS are in compliance with the standards and requirements of SFPD policy. Although the investigations of both SFPD units run in parallel, each has a distinct investigation or investigative purview and focus. Each maintains a strict internal firewall to comply with legal standards and requirements. The San Francisco Department of Police Accountability, or DPA, conducts an independent administrative investigation. The San Francisco voters created DPA as a successor to the Office of Citizen Complaints with their passage of Proposition D in the June 2016 election. DPA investigates all SFPD incidents in which any of our officers discharge a weapon within the course and scope of their duties, and whenever that discharge results in an individual's injury or death. The San Francisco District Attorney's Office Independent Investigations Bureau, or IIB, is responsible for determining the legality of the officer-involved shooting. Based on their independent investigation and review, the District Attorney of the County of San Francisco will make the final decision as to whether the officers or the involved officers' actions comply with the laws of the state of California. The San Francisco Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, or OCME, has responsibility for conducting an on-scene investigation, collecting evidence, and taking custody of a deceased person in any officer-involved shooting that results in a fatality. In tragic cases such as this one, the OCME is responsible for conducting an autopsy to determine the decedent's cause of death and to report those findings publicly. In this incident, because Mr. Lopez died from his injuries, the OCME will conduct an investigation to determine the cause of death. All notified agencies dispatched investigators and appropriate personnel to begin their respective and independent investigations. Finally, I'd like to point out that we take community feedback very seriously, and based on feedback from prior officer-involved shooting town halls, we will also take questions and answer them to the extent we're able, understanding that this incident remains an ongoing investigation. We will allocate 1 hour for public comments and questions. Thank you very much for joining us today, and now, Acting Commander Mark M.
The officer-involved shooting, or OIS, discussed in this presentation occurred on Sunday, July 21st, 2024, at approximately 11:56 p.m. The OIS was preceded by a call for service regarding an armed robbery. The robbery, which involved the use of a firearm, occurred in the Tenderloin Police District near the intersection of McAllister Street and Leavenworth Street at 11:27 p.m. The OIS occurred on the 100 block of Willow Street in the Northern Police District. In this presentation, you will hear the following police terminology and radio code language commonly used by officers. 211 is a robbery. 221 is a person with a gun. 408 is an ambulance. Code 4 is no further assistance required. BWC is body-worn camera. Dispatch is the Department of Emergency Management Dispatcher and Radio Communications System. ERIW, or Extended Range Impact Weapon, is a less lethal force option. Officers use this weapon to deploy a projectile commonly referred to as a beanbag or a .40 foam baton. ERIWs are designed to temporarily incapacitate an individual. Red light is a verbal announcement to other officers of their intent to deploy the ERIW. The precise chronology of this incident is currently under investigation. We are still in the very early stages of an administrative investigation that can take months to complete, and our understanding of the incident may change as additional evidence is collected and reviewed. The times presented are approximate. The following is a summary of the events as they are understood today and may evolve as further information is learned through this investigation. As of July 31st, 2024, we believe the facts are as follows. On Sunday, July 21st, 2024, at 11:27 p.m., dispatch received a call for service. The victim advised dispatch that he had been robbed by a man with a firearm at UN Plaza. The victim stated that the suspect stole his black and red scooter. Officers responded to the scene of the armed robbery and met with the victim. The victim described the suspect as a white male adult, 20 to 40 years old, 150 pounds, approximately 5 feet 6 inches, wearing a long-sleeved blue and white sweater, dark bottoms, and armed with a gray pistol, fleeing on the black and red scooter in an unknown direction. The officers then provided the suspect description to other officers by radio. At about 11:55 p.m., officers number 1 and 2, while on patrol in full uniform and in a marked police vehicle, encountered a person on Willow Street between Van Ness Avenue and Polk Street. The person was wearing a gray and white jacket, blue jeans, and in possession of a black and red scooter. The person was later identified as Alexander Antonio Lopez. After recognizing that the scooter matched the description of the one taken in the robbery, the officers stopped their vehicle to contact Mr. Lopez. As the officers stopped, Mr. Lopez began running west on Willow Street toward Van Ness Avenue. Officer number 1, seated in the front passenger seat, exited the vehicle and ran after Mr. Lopez. Officer number 1 commanded Mr. Lopez to stop, but Mr. Lopez continued to run away from officer number 1. As Mr. Lopez fled, he left the scooter in front of the patrol vehicle's driver's side door. Officer number 2, who was the driver, could not immediately exit as the scooter blocked the door. While pursuing Mr. Lopez, officer number 1 gave a second command to stop. Mr. Lopez continued running away, westbound on Willow Street. While running, Mr. Lopez raised his left hand, in which he held a firearm, turned his head back, and pointed the firearm behind him toward officer number 1. Mr. Lopez then fired once toward the officer while running. While still running away, approximately 1.5 seconds later, Mr. Lopez turned his head back, raised his left arm behind him, and pointed the firearm in the direction of officer number 1 for a second time. Officer number 1 stopped running toward Mr. Lopez, unholstered his firearm, and returned fire. Mr. Lopez fell to the ground and dropped the firearm. The time between when Mr. Lopez raised the firearm for a second time and when officer number 1 fired his first round was approximately 2 seconds. The time between when Mr. Lopez fired and when officer number 1 first fired was approximately 3.5 seconds. Officer number 1 advised dispatch that he was involved in an OIS. Officer number 1 moved to cover behind a parked vehicle and was joined by officer number 2. Officers number 1 and 2 gave Mr. Lopez several commands, including, quote, "Put your hands out to your sides, let me see your hands, and lay face down," end quote. Officers number 1 and 2 waited for additional police officers to arrive at their location. Numerous officers from Tenderloin Station, Northern Station, and Central Station arrived on Willow Street to assist. Officers requested an ambulance to stage in the area as the scene was not secure. A team of officers formulated a plan to secure and render aid to Mr. Lopez. This plan included the use of ballistic shields, less lethal options, and medical kits. The team of officers approached Mr. Lopez and placed him into custody and immediately rendered aid. San Francisco Fire Department medics responded and transported Mr. Lopez to a local hospital, where he was later pronounced deceased. The suspect's name is Alexander Antonio Lopez, and his date of birth is July 26, 1995. Crime scene investigators from the San Francisco Police Department Forensic Services Division responded, and collected physical evidence from the scene, including, but not limited to, the following: one loaded firearm containing 10 9mm cartridges and one fired 9mm cartridge casing. This firearm matched the description from the robbery. 3 .40 caliber fired cartridge casings, and one black and red scooter. The robbery victim identified this scooter as the one taken from the robbery. Officers on scene were wearing department-issued body-worn cameras, which were activated while en route to the incident and recorded the events as they unfolded. The Independent Investigations Bureau, or IIB, is an independent unit within the San Francisco District Attorney's Office that investigates and reviews all officer-involved shootings. Any relevant video footage or photographs can be provided to IIB by calling 628-652-4420 or by email at sfda-iib@sfgov.org. Witnesses and victims are encouraged to call IIB at 628-652-4420. The SFPD officer who discharged his firearm in this incident is Officer Paul Balza, a patrol officer assigned to Tenderloin Station. The officer that discharged his firearm completed Critical Mindset Coordinated Response, or CMCR training, as well as Active Shooter Violent Intruder training. CMCR is a 20-hour California post-certified training course developed by the San Francisco Police Department's Field Tactics Force Options Unit. This course addresses high-risk situations encountered by officers out in the field. Training objectives include critical decision-making during high-risk incidents. Officers gain a deeper understanding of how to resolve these incidents with a coordinated and tactically sound approach using teamwork and leadership. Active Shooter Violent Intruder is a 20-hour California post-certified training course developed by the San Francisco Police Department's Field Tactics Force Options Unit. This course builds on critical decision-making based on the information known at the time. This course utilizes force-on-force exercises and reality-based scenarios to induce stress and therefore increase each student's inoculation to stress. Today's presentation is provided in a multimedia format. In an effort to provide a transparent and comprehensive perspective of this incident, the SFPD will provide audio from the 911 call, surveillance video footage, BWC footage, crime scene investigation photos, maps, and related visual aids. Our presentation today consists of relevant known video and audio at this time, but it is not intended to provide all photos, videos, or testimonial information related to this investigation. I will now provide a presentation of this incident using these multimedia sources. At certain points, to increase the clarity for viewers, certain videos have been enhanced and slowed down to allow for a better understanding of this incident. Please note that this presentation, the enhanced videos, and the unedited videos will all be available on the SFPD website immediately following this town hall event. SFPD policies can also be located on the SFPD website. Prior to the beginning of each segment, I will provide a brief description to orient the viewer to the time, place, and location of the content about to be shown. You're about to see relevant video footage and learn about other evidence related to this case, so you can have a better understanding of what occurred, based upon what we know right now. A word of caution: the images and information you're about to see and hear may be disturbing. When a police officer uses force to arrest a suspect or defend against attack, the images are graphic and may be difficult to watch. In addition, there may be strong language used by those in the video. Viewer discretion is advised, especially for young children and sensitive viewers. We encourage those in need of support to contact the San Francisco Department of Public Health Crisis Line at 415-970-3800. On July 21st, 2024, at 11:27 p.m., a person called 911 reporting that he was robbed by a person armed with a gun near UN Plaza. We will now play the 911 call provided by the San Francisco Department of Emergency Management. The 911 caller's voice has been altered to protect their privacy.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
Dígame exactamente qué pasó.
¿Mame?
Dígame exactamente qué pasó.
Lo que pasa es que estaba cruzando por aquí del Civic, pero me subí a la escarpa y un sujeto vino y me quitó el scooter que traía con un arma.
¿Le quitó el qué?
¿Mande?
¿Qué fue lo que le quitó?
¿Cómo?
¿Qué le quitó?
Oh, me quitaron mi scooter, pero me apuntaron con un arma.
No entiendo qué le quitó.
Okay,
So there was a guy that took something from me and he pointed me with a gun.
okay. Is that person still there?
¿Esa persona sigue ahí?
¿Mande?
La persona sigue ahí.
La verdad no sé, porque me quitó y me dijo que yo me vaya, pero me apuntó con un arma y pues yo me fui y ya no miré dónde se fue.
I'm not sure because I left and he pointed me with a gun. He asked me to leave.
How long ago did this happen?
¿Hace cuánto esto pasó?
Hace ahorita como 10 minutos atrás, como las 11:20 casi.
Like 10 minutes ago.
You're about to hear a recording of the robbery call for service as it was broadcast by dispatch to responding officers. The audio was provided by the San Francisco Department of Emergency Management.
214, a priority 211 over 221, Leavenworth and McAllister. John 15 over 10-4, thank you. Through Spanish interpreter, RP was 211 with a 221 at UN Plaza about 10 ago. Information's coming in slowly. More to follow. Units back.
John 3 Edward.
John 3 over 10-4, thank you. Again, still waiting on further.
We will now show a geographical map of Willow Street to illustrate the general area of the officer-involved shooting, as well as its location relative to the original robbery call for service near UN Plaza. The map will show a Google satellite perspective as well as a Google Earth view. We will now show BWC footage as well as surveillance footage from security cameras located on Willow Street. I will introduce each video prior to playing it. BWC footage was captured from department-issued body-worn cameras worn by members at the time of the event. Portions of these videos have been blurred to protect the privacy of third parties. The first 30 seconds of BWC footage does not contain audio. The camera has a buffering system that captures 30 seconds of video footage prior to the officer's activation of it. When activated by the officer, the camera records with audio and video. Timestamps displayed on BWC footage are in Coordinated Universal Time, or UTC. The officers who responded to the reported robbery obtained a suspect description from the victim. One of the responding officers then broadcasted the description for other units. We will now play a portion of the BWC from one of the officers who responded. The victim's voice has been altered to protect their privacy.
No, no tengo idea.
WMA, 20 to 40-year-old, 140 pounds, approximately 5'6". He was wearing a long sleeve sweater. It was white and blue in color, dark bottoms. He had a gray pistol and was last seen on a black and red scooter, unknown direction.
Officers number 1 and 2 were partners the night of the OIS and riding in a marked SFPD vehicle. While searching for the person matching the description from the robbery, officers 1 and 2 located an individual who matched the description on Willow Street between Van Ness Avenue and Polk Street. When officer number 1 exited his patrol vehicle, the suspect ran. Surveillance footage was obtained from a security camera located at the scene. We are now going to play the surveillance footage showing a street-level view of the incident. We are now going to play an enhanced version of the surveillance video, which has also been slowed down. The enhancements highlight the suspect pointing the firearm toward the officer, shooting the firearm, and the resulting gunpowder smoke. We are now going to play BWC footage from officer number 1 who discharged his firearm.
40 OIS. It's B on
I got it. I got the radio. I got the radio.
Put your hands out to your sides. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands.
We are now going to play an enhanced version of the BWC footage we just viewed, which has also been slowed down. The enhancements highlight the suspect pointing the firearm toward the officer and shooting the firearm.
Stop!
We are now going to play BWC footage from officer number 1 and video footage from the street level security camera that have been synced together based on time.
Stop!
We are now going to play an enhanced and slowed version of the synced BWC footage from officer number 1 and the street level security camera. The enhancements highlight the suspect pointing the firearm toward the officer and shooting the firearm.
Stop!
We are now going to play surveillance footage from a second security camera showing in an overhead view of the incident. We are now going to play an enhanced version of the overhead surveillance video, which has also been slowed down. The enhancements highlight the suspect pointing the firearm toward the officer and shooting the firearm. We are now going to play BWC footage from officer number 1 and video footage from the overhead security camera that have been synced together based on time.
John 40 OIS. It's going to be on Willow.
I got the radio. I got the radio.
When officer number 2 exited his patrol vehicle, a scooter matching the one stolen in the robbery is immediately next to the patrol vehicle. We are now going to play BWC footage from officer number 2.
Drop it! I got it. I got the radio. I got the radio.
Put your hands out to your side.
3 John
Let me
40
see your hands.
OIS.
Let me see your hands. Lie face down.
What are we on, Willow?
Yep.
We're gonna be on Willow. We got guns pointed westbound on Van Ness. We got one suspect down. He's compliant. Where's the gun? Right there? Paul?
Yep. It's looks like it's to the left.
All right.
Hey, get away!
Hey, get away from me!
Get away from me! Back up! Back up this way!
All right, 3 John 40, suspect is down. 221 is near his head. We're gonna start giving commands. Let me get a shield and a move team.
Hey, 221 to the left.
I got you. Hey, you guys are good? Holster up, whoever.
That's Paul. Paul's the OIS.
A-firm, OIS. One suspect down, not responsive to commands, forward stage. I'm going to get unit to block off Van Ness northbound outlet. Hey, ma'am, if you can hear me, put your hands out to the side like an airplane. Hey, somebody grab the shield from the car.
Yeah, Chili, go.
Put your arms out to the side like an airplane. Hey, does he have the weapon by him still?
Yeah, it's by his head to the left.
By his neck to the left.
The head.
Put your arms out to the side like an airplane.
Watch out, dip. Hey, those units, get out the way. You got guns pointed that direction.
Put your arms out to the side like an airplane. Out to the side.
All right, you have shields? Hey, Paul.
Hey, move the gun.
Here, switch with Paul. He's no OIS.
Hey, do me a solid. Brett, you left up.
Paul back.
Grab a trauma kit from the car. If you get up there, start running.
Hey, so this is what we're going to do. We push up on him. I'll secure him. Handcuff somebody. Immediately get the gun, okay?
Hey, Chili, when we go up there, the gun's going to be on the left side by his neck, all right?
I'm going to secure him from the rear.
Left side, they say. Okay, if it is secured, step on it, all right? Hey, hold up. Is everybody ready?
What's the plan? Hold on. Okay, these two are pushing forward. We got lethal here. I got 40 up. 40, and we have this.
Hey, somebody give a warning not to reach for the gun or he'll be shot again.
Hey, do not reach for the gun. If you reach for the gun, you will be shot. Red light.
Everybody up?
You ready? Move.
Move.
If he starts being scoring, we're going to back up.
Yep.
Do not move.
If you reach for the gun, you will be hit.
Ma'am, just stay put. We'll get you out of there in a second. Arms out to the side like an airplane.
Do not reach for nothing.
We are now going to play an enhanced video of the BWC footage we just viewed, which has also been slowed down. The enhancements highlight the black and red scooter as well as the suspect's firearm.
Ma'am, just stay put. We'll get you out of there in a second. Arms out to the side like an airplane.
Do not reach for nothing.
Officer number 3 responded after the OIS occurred. Officer number 3 created a plan to arrest and render aid to the suspect. We are now going to play BWC footage from officer number 3, which shows him arriving on scene, forming a plan, and carrying out the plan with a team of officers.
Hey, where you at? Let's go, let's go. Hey. I got you. Hey, you guys are good. Holster up, whoever.
Is it OIS?
A-firm, OIS. One suspect down, not responsive commands, 408 to stage. I'm gonna need a unit to block off Van Ness northbound at Willow. Hey, ma'am, if you can hear me, put your hands out to the side like an airplane. Hey, somebody grab the shield from the car.
Yeah, Julie, go. Hey.
Put your arms out to the side like an airplane. Hey, does he have the weapon by him still?
Yeah, it's by his head to the left.
By his neck to the left. Put your arms out to the side like an airplane.
Hey, those units, get out the way. You got guns pointed that direction.
Put your arms out to the side like an airplane. Out to the side. Hey, do we have a shield? Shield up. Shield up.
We got 2 shields.
Hey, Paul.
Hey,
Moving guns, shields.
Paul. Hey,
Paul,
you tap out, I'll take the shield. All right. Hey, do me a solid, Brett. You gloved up. Grab a trauma kit from the car. Once we get up there, start rendering aid.
So this is what we're gonna do. We push up on him. I'll secure him. Handcuff somebody. Immediately get the gun.
Yep.
Okay?
Hey, Chili, when we go up there, the gun's going to be on the left side by his neck, all right?
I'm gonna secure him from the rear.
Left side, they said. Okay. If it is secured, step on it, all right? Hey, hold up. Is everybody ready?
What's the plan? Hold on.
Alright, so I'm a rest team.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hold you. These two are pushing forward. We got lethal here. I got 40 out. 40, and we have this. Hey, nobody gets 40. Not to reach for the gun, or we'll be shot.
Hey, do not reach for the gun. If you reach for the gun, you will be shot.
Hey, remember, red light, that's lethal.
Red light.
Everybody up. Red light,
Ready?
that's lethal. Move
Hey,
on you.
if he starts being squirmy, we're going to back up.
Yep.
Do not move.
If you reach for the gun, you will be hit.
Ma'am, just stay put. We'll get you out of there in a second. Arms out to the side like an airplane.
Arms out.
Do not reach for nothing. You hear me? Give me fucking hands.
Sergeant number 1 responded to the scene after the OIS took place. As Sergeant number 1 approached the suspect with the arrest and aid team, the firearm belonging to the suspect is visible. We are now going to play BWC footage from Sergeant number 1.
Do not move.
If you reach for the gun, you will be hit.
Ma'am, just stay put. We'll get you out of there in a second. Arms out to the side like an airplane.
Do not reach for nothing. You hear me? Give me fucking hands.
All right, stand with that.
We are now going to play an enhanced video of the BWC footage we just viewed, which has also been slowed down. The enhancement highlights the suspect's firearm. After the suspect was taken into custody, officer number 4 assisted in rendering aid by placing a chest seal on the gunshot wound. We are now going to play BWC footage from officer number 4 showing him rendering aid.
Everyone over here, okay? If you have a deer or have you a rifle, put it back in your car. It's not yours. Keep it quiet.
Willow from Van Ness. I got it.
No, you got to take off your gloves or it just gets all messy.
Yeah, hold on.
Do you need a chest seal?
I
have a chest seal.
We're still assessing.
I don't get it. Watch out.
Yep.
Did you see anything, hear anything?
Ready?
Yeah. No, that's fine. All right.
This photo shows an overview of the scene. This photo shows the robbery victim's scooter at the scene of the OIS. This photo shows the suspect's firearm with a malfunction at the scene. This photo shows the suspect's firearm unloaded. This photo shows the department-issued firearm used by officer number 1. This concludes my presentation. I will now introduce the commanding officer of Tenderloin Police Station, Acting Captain Daniel Manning.
Good afternoon. My name is Daniel Manning. I was the acting captain of Tenderloin Police Station when this officer-involved shooting occurred. Since the day of the incident, I have been communicating with our community leaders, neighbors, and stakeholders to address any concerns. Members from my Community Police Advisory Board have also been briefed. The officers of Tenderloin Station will continue to be responsive, empathetic, and proactive in their approach towards addressing crime in the Tenderloin. We will continue to work together with the community to ensure public safety and justice for all residents and businesses. At our monthly community meeting last night, I listened to the community's perspectives and will be incorporating their feedback. Moving forward, I believe we can work together to better serve and protect everyone in the district. Thank you. I will now introduce the commanding officer of Northern Police Station, Captain Jason Sawyer.
Good afternoon. My name is Jason Sawyer, and I'm the commanding officer of Northern Police Station. I'm here today regarding an officer-involved shooting that resulted from an armed conflict with a street robber. This incident took place on Willow Street late on July 21st. Although the initial robbery took place in the neighborhood Tenderloin District, the suspect fled and was ultimately encountered in the Northern District. I'm grateful that the involved officers are doing well and that no innocent people were injured during this incident. The officers displayed incredible bravery under extreme circumstances and upheld the core tenets of what it takes to be a San Francisco police officer. As the investigation progresses, it is important for people to understand that there is a process, and that process is upheld to an incredible standard. Please be patient and allow the necessary parties to complete their part. The San Francisco Police Department will continue to cooperate and be transparent along the way. We are aware that we answer to you, the public, and keeping your trust is vital to moving forward. Specifically to the residents who live on or near Willow Street, I'm aware of the ongoing issues that have plagued this area, and I will continue to be an advocate for the resources to resolve the issues. I've spoken with many of you and am steadfast in my resolve to help you. As the captain of Northern Station, I value your feedback and any open conversation. If you have any concerns, please feel free to contact me or come to the Northern Station community meeting, which is held on the second Tuesday of each month at 5 p.m. at Northern Police Station. Thank you.
The public comment portion of this town hall will now begin. The length of time for public comment will be 1 hour. To call into the meeting, please call 1-415-655-0001. Again, the number to call into the meeting is 1-415-655-0001. Please enter meeting code 2663-456-4937. Access code is 7373. Each public comment caller will have up to 2 minutes to speak. If you wish to join the queue for public comment, please listen carefully to the following instructions. Interpretation is available in both Spanish and Cantonese. If you are watching on WebEx, you may click the interpretation button and select your preferred language. If you are calling into the meeting, again, please call 1-415-655-0001. Enter meeting code 2663-456-4937. Access code is 7373. You may press star 3 to raise your hand to get in the queue to speak. You will be prompted when you have been unmuted and it is your turn to speak. Again, each caller will have up to 2 minutes to provide public comment for this town hall meeting. Your 2 minutes will begin once you have been prompted that you have been unmuted and you begin speaking. Please be reminded, you must mute the broadcast you are watching in order for your public comment to be heard clearly. Again, if you are watching the broadcast online, please mute the broadcast or turn down the volume to prevent audio feedback so that your comment can be heard clearly. Moderators, at this time, I ask that you invite the first caller in to speak. At this time, we have no callers in the queue. The public comment line will remain open for 2 minutes before we conclude this town hall meeting.
We had no callers, and I'd like to thank the 211 viewers that joined us for our town hall this afternoon. And just as a reminder that our videos and everything you heard will be on our website at sanfranciscopolice.org. Thank you for joining us today, and please have a good evening and have a safe evening.